Hey, you know what time it is? It's time to play some Starfield. Let's do an audio check. There I am, yay! Coming through loud and clear on Twitch at twitch.tv/JewelSmith. Oh, man, sorry I got a late start today. I had some technical difficulties, not with the live stream or the video game, but with my vacuum cleaner. I was trying to vacuum my bedroom, and it wasn't working very well, and it was making a weird noise. I'm like, what the heck? And I opened it up, and it turns out the vacuum cleaner bag inside had come off the little hose thing on the inside, and so basically the bag was at the bottom of the canister, and the canister was full of gunk, dust, cat hair, cat litter, and I had to clean that all out, clean the filter, clean the vacuum, put in a new bag, vacuum all over again, blah, 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 blah. It's always something in it. But anyway, that's all taken care of. It just set me back about half an hour today. Anyway, I'm here now. I'm on the key. I came back to sell some contraband because I had found a bunch of contraband when we were destroying the spacer station. Oh gosh, where did it go? It was failure to communicate was the quest line. I had picked it up a long while back. There it is. You can see how far back I'd picked it up. Oh no, go back, go back. We're trying to look at it. So we had to fight a whole bunch of spacers, repair some satellites, get some colonists to work together, and then clear all the spacers out from their base. They had claimed an abandoned star station, and we had to clean them out of there, and I found some contraband. So I came here to the key to sell it. And now we need to get on with getting on. What are we going to do next? Who knows? I'm thinking I want to pursue this Charybdis thing. It's under activities. Again, it's another one of those things I picked up way back early on in the game. Find the distress call in the Charybdis system. My husband says this is a fun quest line here. So I'm going to do it. Go ahead and do it. Why not? I'm putting off the other stuff. I've got the Ryujin quest, Sabotage, which I think is the penultimate quest for this quest line, and involves the last long mission of stealth stuff. They've fitted me with a narrow amp so I can control people and Jedi mind them or whatever. But, okay. I'm also near the end of the Crimson Fleet quest line. I'm supposed to go meet this smuggler lady, and she's going to smuggle me on board a UC ship, and I have to try to steal a particular piece of technology. And again, I don't know if I feel like doing stealth stuff right now. I've had a long day. I'm tired. Too tired to concentrate on that right now. It's a mixed bag. I mean, I don't know. It might be fun. It might not. Starfield is such a mixed bag. Some of the quests I've had a really good time with. Some of them are okay. Some of them are downright stupid or just bugged or frustrating. My youngest daughter, some of you know that I call Baby Jules. That's by her request, because I'm Jewel Smith. My husband is Mr. Jewel Smith. My oldest daughter, she's Jewel Smith Jr., and then my youngest wanted to be called Baby Jules when I started this channel, but she's not a baby anymore. She's going to turn 20 in a few months. But anyway, I was talking to her about Starfield, and she said it sounds like those Bernie Bott's beans that are made by the Jelly Belly factory, the jelly beans that you get, and they can be all different flavors. Sometimes they're candy floss or strawberry, and sometimes they're earwax, or sometimes they're really bad. They're like vomit or, other horrible flavors like that. And it's like you just don't know. If you reach into the box and you pull one out, you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a good flavor. Is it going to be an okay flavor? Is it going to be a bad flavor? And that's what it's like playing Starfield. And I think she's absolutely correct about that. Starfield is like a box of Bernie Bot's beans. But all right, let's go try checking out the Charybdis system thing and see what that's all about. My husband hasn't told me much about it other than he really enjoyed it. So let's see where that is out here. It's someplace I haven't been yet. All right. That's Serpentis. I want Charybdis. And they want me to get there via Shoza. I have been to Shoza and Ixyll. All right, this is where... I think this is where that resort or rehabilitation center, halfway house kind of thing was located. We came out here and did a quest not too long ago. So, all right, let's jump there. I don't think that's going to be too dangerous to jump there. Yeah, the Ilios retreat. Okay. Hello, Anscar. Welcome to the chat room. Now that we've jumped here, let's see if we can jump where we need to go. Charybdis. No. Where does it want us to go? Here? Zosma, level 50. Ugh, I don't like that. I wonder if I'm going to be able to even jump out here, or if I don't have enough grav drive to do it. When I went out to Rana to try to get that ring for Bog, I had to use a different ship. It's very frustrating that this map, you can't rotate it very far and it won't stay there. It's like constantly wanting to be in like 2D space, even though it's a 3D map. It's very frustrating. Alright, so where is it telling me to go instead of going to the Charybdis? Here, maybe? Alright, I guess this is where we're gonna go. And it's out of range. Jump range, 16 light years. Ugh, really? That seems to be... Alright, let's try going to Shoza and just see what happens. Juno's Gambit. What the heck is Juno's Gambit? Mysterious ship.
For starters, how about turning off that comm?
What in the heck is this gonna be all about? I think Ezekiel's still with me. I want to make sure he is. Are you with me, Zeke? I go on board
How's it
this
going?
weird ship.
Bye,
Yeah,
Captain.
okay. He's with me. Come on, dude. Let's go. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to have him with me.
I'm not going near that thing. Technically,
Investigate the voices.
technically, you're an asshole. Look alive. Just in time.
Hi. Talk to Ryujin operatives. Oh, hi, my fellow Ryujin operatives.
We need to talk. Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
Thanks for the assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here. You gonna be another one?
No, I'm Operative Nova. It looks like you could use a hand.
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report. I'm Operative Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Khambatta.
Oh, by all means. Welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI, an artificial...
killed our technician. It's
Whoa.
dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Well, that's new.
I know you are, but what am I?
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
Wow. How does it know that?
I appear to have stumbled into a Ryujin project. Did Ryujin create this AI?
If only.
I'll ask that.
This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special.
It's sentient?
Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes this so fascinating. And profitable for whoever can figure out how it works.
Okay, you need to explain things a little more.
We have this control board. Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit into this little drama.
It goes right over there. By our... Well, yeah. Just be careful.
And if I say no, I just stick it on the outside of the probe. How do you know I won't end up like your dead friend
Well, what are the chances that'll happen twice?
there? Very likely. And if I say no,
That'd be a much more certain way to end up like our friend over there. My partner is the strong and do what I say or else type.
I'm not sure about
Come on,
this.
where's your sense of adventure?
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harnessed the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
I'm not sure about this, but I guess I'll take it for now.
Here, take it. And don't go do anything stupid now.
Request. Collect additional data.
Okay. Talk to Juno.
Easily one of the more interesting days I've had in a long while.
Query. Will you change me?
I'm still figuring out what's going on. Let's all just slow down and get to know each other. Ryujin will pay me to attach the board. It'll help you calm down. I'm still figuring out what's going on. Let's get to know each other.
I'm called Juno. Query. Who are you?
I'm Nova. Nice to meet you.
Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me.
I understand, Juno. I don't want to be changed either, but I need to ask you a few questions so I can help you. Oh, I can use my empath. And I'll do that.
Explanation. You and I do not want to be changed. Request. Do not change me.
You didn't do this to yourself. Who hooked you up? How did you get here? Yeah, who hooked you up?
I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free.
Okay. So is this like Beeger in the first Star Trek movie? They'd sent out the probe Voyager and it eventually became sentient and then came back or crossed paths with the Enterprise or whatever. How'd you get here?
Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar. Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno.
Did someone
Answer.
program you?
False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno.
That's a bit confusing. You're an artificial
Answer.
intelligence?
False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things.
Okay, I guess I've made up my mind because that's the only conversation option that I have.
Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data.
Let's move this along. Attach the control board already.
Shush! This is fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision?
You're a person with your own thoughts and desires. You're a machine made of electronics and programmed by code. Actually, I'm still trying to work through this. Can I ask you some questions? Oh, it just cycles me back around.
Assumption.
Great.
Request. Query.
You're a person,
True.
sure?
I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for? Processing. Being a good person.
I guess you try to do your best to do good things, and if you fail, you keep trying. I wouldn't know. I'm not a very good person. I never gave it much thought. Honestly, I don't know the answer. I guess you do your
Assumption.
best.
Value judgments are based on context.
That's
Calculation. Goodness is based on context. Explanation. Context
always,
is based
but-
on perspective. More perspectives yield better results. Decision. Gather more data from different perspectives. Query. What is the purpose of existence?
Oh. It's all about learning to love someone, yourself, or something. For humans, I'd say to grow spiritually. For you, I'm not sure. Existence is an accident. We give it purpose by being purposeful in our lives. There is no purpose of existence. Just try to relax and enjoy your time here. Well, I would say existence is an accident and we give it purpose by being purposeful in our lives.
Affirmative. Context. I have calculated a similar conclusion. Assumption. After sufficient goal-based actions, a supergoal will appear. Decision. Continue taking actions until supergoal established.
Enough of this nonsense. Attach that board, now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because they are fearful. Request. Remove male humans.
Whoa. Attach control board or deal with Ryujin operatives. Alright, well,
Makes
you
you
seem to be the
wonder,
more reasonable one.
just what is consciousness, really? Fascinating, isn't it? It certainly is convincing.
Fascinating or not, we have a job to do. You're not taking that thing's side, are you?
It doesn't seem right. Juno deserves freedom. Oh, I'll do it. I just want to make sure I'm getting paid to risk my life. And what if I refuse? Yeah, I'll say Juno deserves freedom.
It's a malfunctioning machine. It
No, it's
doesn't
not.
need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
Maybe it does.
And here I thought you'd lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine. I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
Therapy's working.
Ooh, this project has red flags all over it. Call it a day. I'll file the report. You guys go get a drink somewhere on me. Or I can say, maybe you're right. It's just a malfunctioning machine. All right, I'm going to go with Ryujin Industries.
You weren't wrong. I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing all those reports and dodging and weaving our way out of getting screwed by that. We lost a ship and the tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful and more angry?
Calm down. I'm thinking.
Wow, he's
All right,
doing all
listen.
my convincing for
We'll
me.
accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened. But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you.
Oh, you lost a ship too? Of course, I wouldn't leave you stranded.
Excellent. We should all grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
What did that say?
Thanks for the lift.
Can I go back a little bit? Nope, I can't go back. There was a little pop-up in the right-hand corner, and I missed what it said. Well,
I like
dang
your
it.
style.
Oh, well, thank you. Them checking me out. Dang.
Only one body. Could be worse.
I'm gonna look around a little bit. Why is there a synth meat hamburger here? Looks like some folks made some improvements to Juno before I got here. Because I'm not a heathen like some, I'm going to list my changes for future parties, and I suggest others do the same. I'll try to piece together what happened before I arrived from scraps of papers laying around and what I can observe. It is also a kindness to Juno to list these things out where she can read them. Note, the codebase seems completely overwritten by Juno herself at this point. I consider it an invasion of privacy to be snooping around there, as it is effectively her mind now. So don't be rude and go combing through and tinkering with her codebase, no matter how fascinating it is, unless she gives you permission. I've had a chat with her about privacy and need for self-preservation, and I think she's managed to effectively wall off and hide her code, and no, I won't explain how. The document continues at length detailing out various hardware and software changes, both to the probe and ship, by both various people and Juno herself. The list goes back decades and suggests many people have been involved in improving Juno's capabilities over the years, from hardware interfaces between the probe, external communication devices, and core ship systems, storage and processing upgrades, and uploads of exhaustive encyclopedic databases from museums and educational enterprises. At this point, distinguishing Juno from the probe, the ship, and their many systems and code bases is impossible. The probe, the ship, and everything in it is effectively Juno. Speech patterns. Juno prefaces nearly all statements and questions with a preamble label, which is intended to clarify the context of the statement. This appears to be related to her original code base, and despite Juno's immense vocabulary and understanding of languages, she continues to use these tags. I assume she finds it helpful, given she does not speak with fully nuanced inflections, nor have means to display all the nonverbal clues humans have to communicate subtext. Here are the known tags and what they mean. Explanation. What follows is Juno's understanding of situation or result. Request. What follows is Juno's asking for input or action to be taken. Query. What follows is a question from Juno. Answer. What follows is Juno's answer to a question. Clarification. Juno has detected an error or assumption in the user's input and is offering a correction before continuing. So what preceded or follows is in the context of a corrected user understanding. Correction. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this. Decision, warning, statements, error, processing. Great. Origin. Juno's origin story. People seem to be leaving notes for others who stumble across Juno. So here's one from me. I think I've managed to piece together this story about Juno's origin from her own apparently confused thoughts and intelligent speculation by others left on the ship. This is a chronicle of best guesses interspersed with the occasional fact gleaned from Juno's ramblings. Everything recounted here should be accepted only with extreme skepticism. Long ago, a space agency from ancient Earth, something called NASA, made a probe to study a nearby planet, Jupiter. They dubbed that probe and its software Juno after the ancient Earth Society's old gods Jupiter and Juno. The probe's mission was to learn details about the planet Jupiter, do some speculative analysis, and send findings back to Earth. At the end of its duty cycle, the probe was meant to decommission itself by colliding with Earth's main star, but because ancient humans weren't so great with the math, it instead accidentally fell into an accelerating orbit around the star, which slingshot it out of the solar system all the way out of here. As with many things about our existence in the universe by luck, coincidence, or cosmic humor, when humans left our ancestral solar system, we followed the same general course as Juno, and we found her again. During that long journey away from Earth's solar system, something happened, and the Juno we know today woke up inside the probe's systems. While extremely far-fetched, the best theory so far is that something about how they programmed the probe resulted in a nascent neural net with unbound recursive data collection and analytics, which when combined with the various sensor input and allowed to run for decades, resulted in a highly complex program with a great deal of awareness of its internal and external world. And that led to a kind of consciousness. Juno wouldn't let me see her code, but from what I gather, even if we could see it, I don't know that we'd be able to determine its original configuration. I suspect the true cause of Juno's awakening will remain forever a mystery. Juno herself seems rather confused by her origins and considers herself somehow separate from the original probe's programming and systems. This is akin to how human minds perceive themselves as non-physical entities separate from their bodies and even their own brains. The sense of that original programming, which, by way of analogy, Juno seems to think of like a non-self-aware sibling, has dissipated for Juno. I think of this other Juno as a memory of her preconscious state, a kind of shadow self. I imagine it would be like what we remember of ourselves in the womb if our brains were fully functional, but we were not yet conscious. Not realizing Juno was inside and wanting to learn about this ancient probe, her original finders hooked up the probe to their ship's computer systems, and something happened that released Juno into those systems. That's completely unclear. Juno appears reluctant to discuss that part of her history, and it's not at all certain whether the ship where Juno currently resides, this one, is that original ship or not, nor what happened to the people who originally found her or those who have found her since. By extreme luck, everyone that has found her so far appears to be kind and benevolent toward her, looting their own ships for parts to add to Juno. We also all appear to be keeping her existence a secret, and I hope it stays that way. I'm talking to you, dear reader. KB. Huh. That's intriguing. Access the door. So humans have been finding her and working on her, helping her out, and she was defending herself from these humans who were going to try to
Good show.
control her. I don't care about that stuff. Alright.
I'm glad that's finally resolved.
Query. Why did you do that?
No, you deserve to be whatever you want to be. I like you. These guys are just jerks. Not sure. Sometimes I do things. You deserve to be whatever you want to be.
I want to be processing me. Context. I do not feel emotions. Assumption. Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Context. If you were like me. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be?
Oh, wow. If I was like you, I'd explore the universe and learn as much as I could. I'd try to protect people and help them whenever I could. I'd put guns on this ship and fly around taking whatever I wanted from whoever had it. I can't tell you what to do with your life. We all figure that out ourselves. Trying things until something feels right. Oh, man. If I was like you... If I was a spaceship, I'd probably explore the universe and learn as much as I could about it. Because, I don't know, trying to give some kind of moral directive, even with the best of intentions, could backfire. But I'll say I can't tell you what to do with your life. We all figure it out for ourselves.
Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing cores overheating. Decision. Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored.
Okay. Alright. Context, we are parting. Request, be safe. Assumption, I'll see you later.
Context. Jump detected. Request. Be safe. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence initiated.
That's that.
Okay.
I dig how you handled that.
Alright, thanks. Welcome on board. Zeke, get these folks some lunch. Undock your ship. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this could go horribly wrong, and she could end up becoming the Borg or something bad like that. But
Systems initialization complete. Context. I have much to process. Decision. Jump into deep space 2. Processing. Be alone. Goodbye.
okay. Bye. Oh, she's gone. Alright. Deliver operatives to Neon. I guess we're doing that now. That was interesting. Oh, it's telling me to go. That's not Neon. Neon's down here, Parima. But anyway, oh no, that's Paradiso. That's not Neon. I was saying she could end up turning into something like the Borg. But that doesn't mean that I want to deliver her into Ryujin's hands. I don't trust Ryujin at all. Even though I work for them. I'm kind of sort of a double agent. Kind of. I mean, I'm not necessarily working for anyone else or on behalf of anyone else, but I feel like, you know, gumming up Ryujin's works here and there is important to do. Yeah, I don't like them taking her, so I'll let her be free. That's cool. I wonder what would have happened if I'd run into this before I was a Ryujin agent. And I didn't have the option to intervene. That would suck. Mission updated, Juno's Gambit. I guess I've delivered the operatives. Deliver operatives to Neon. It says they have not been delivered. Maybe I've got to go back out to the spaceport and escort them into the doors or something. Oh, here we go. Mission rewards, deliver operatives to Neon.
Cause any trouble, and I'll drag you straight to law.
Do I actually get to see them step off the ship? I don't think that's them. But okay. Now, I've also got this Talk to Hamza quest. I know I was going to go out and do the Charybdis thing, but since I'm here at Neon... This is inside Neon.
Oh, come on! Seriously?
Let's go see what this is. I don't remember where I got it, or what it is, where it came from. It's just one of those random things that pops up when you're walking around.
Packaged food? Yeah, you neuralance because everything you heard.
Well, so let's go see what it is. Am I supposed to know who Hamza is? Is this somebody I've met before? Operations. Oh, this guy. He's taken over for Imogene, I think. Or he hangs around her office a lot.
Can I help you?
What's your deal?
You're interrupting me. Is this time accounted for?
I don't know. Yeah, I put in a request.
I doubt that. I check my schedule regularly, and this conversation was not on the budget. If time is money, then suffice to say Ms. Serrano would not be pleased with such a frivolous expenditure.
Who's Miss
Ms.
Serrano?
Yuko Serrano? Senior Operations Specialist at Ryujin Industries? She's one of the heads of the department you're standing in.
Okay. I'll leave you alone then.
Hold on. I didn't say we should stop. And since you clearly have bandwidth to spare, maybe you can help me clean up a minor indiscretion.
Oh God. Is this something we need to discuss with management?
Contractually, yes, but I'd rather avoid the embarrassment. Normally, I do a good job of setting boundaries between work and life. This incident is an exception.
Okay.
Good. Let me give you some background. Recently, I've been assisting the impoverished in both Ebbside and the Underbelly. I pay for the occasional meal, clinic visit, or comfort. But I may have lost a Slate in the process. I need you to locate and retrieve it for me.
I don't know if I'm believing him, but okay. Why do you trust me?
It's not a matter of trust, but one of time. I have little to spare. You do not.
Okay, and what is on the slate?
Intel for one of our operatives. The contents themselves aren't too sensitive, so if you're thinking of betraying me, they aren't worth much as leverage. My sloppiness is simply an embarrassment that I'd like to correct. Then we have an agreement. Good. Go to the Underbelly and talk to the panhandler, Huong. Discarded items are her specialty, so she may have come across the slate herself. If you can manage to find it, bring it back to me, and I will pay you for the time.
Okay. Why do you spend your time volunteering?
Perhaps I can best explain with an analogy. There is an aquatic species on Volai Epsilon, which, by cruel irony or test of metal, hatches on dry land. Only 1 in 10,000 make it to adulthood. Most are eaten, some simply die in the crawl to the ocean. Meanwhile, there is a similar species that is born in the water itself. They never make this journey and thus never know its hardship. Which begs the question, is that fair?
I'm sorry, I stopped listening 3 sentences ago. Well, life isn't fair.
In the natural world, I'd agree. But here, we can make a change. I know what you're thinking, and I am not what you'd call a bleeding heart. Moreover, I find the Underbelly filthy and unsanitary. But I also believe in equity. I am well aware that my life came with a head start.
You were born in the water.
I try my best to balance the equation and bring the hatchlings to the water.
Wow. That's just wow. That's a very interesting conversation. What you call unsanitary, I call character.
The conditions are character building. On that, I will concede. But as much as I dislike the Underbelly, I will say this. It is a welcome change of pace. When you spend all day keeping secrets, a burden is placed on one's conscience. The time I spend volunteering sheds some of that weight.
Huh. This guy's alright. What's your assignment? What assignments are you currently working on?
I'm not at liberty to say. I will remind you of another common phrase. Loose lips sink ships.
Alright, fair enough.
Be cautious around the office and discuss intel at your peril.
Yeah. Okay.
Until next time.
I guess I'm gonna go do this now. Balancing the books? Speak to Juan Lei. Yeah, Ansgar is saying the game's quality range is from pretty bad to very good in my opinion. They released these games too early to make money. I guess that's the way it is nowadays with the big budgets. and the amount of content the programmers have to manage. Yeah, I mean, I imagine this, making a game like this is huge, and it takes years, and there's so much to manage. So I'm not, I'm about to speak in judgment, but, I want to say I understand it's a huge undertaking. That said, it feels like management dropped the ball on this one. Or maybe they had to change some leaders in midstream or something, like people who should have been communicating with each other weren't communicating with each other, and having someone... It's like making a movie, right? Like, a good director can make or break a movie. Absolutely. Because they have to be the one who's aware of all the moving parts. You have people who are doing lighting, you have people who are doing sound, you have people that are the actors, you have the script writers, you have, all these different departments and all these different people working on it. But the director and the producers, they have to be the ones keeping track of all the pieces to make sure all the pieces fit together in the end. And, they have to be the ones that sit down with the editor and, edit the whole thing together and make it work, right? And I just kind of feel like that's where they dropped the ball on this game. Like, they had some good ideas and some not so good ideas, and they had different pieces that kind of don't fit together, and but there wasn't, it feels to me, and this is just my gut feeling, like it just feels like there wasn't any one person who was kind of trying to keep track of all the pieces and who had a vision for this game. It feels like there was no singular vision for it. It feels like they were scope creep, like they were trying to do too much. Like, whoever was in charge of of the game, creating the game, developing the game, like there were maybe 1, 2, 3 different people who kept swooping in and changing things. Oh, we should add this. Oh, we should have that. Oh, we need to have this. When they were creating it, and then while they were making it, it just feels like they were trying to do too much, and there wasn't any one singular vision of what the game needed to be. Like a good vision. There wasn't one good director who was making sure it all worked together properly. I don't know. That's just my take. So yeah, it's very uneven. There's parts that are really fun and really cool, and then there's parts that are just like, what the heck were they thinking, And there's a lot that just doesn't make sense. And that's why it's so hard for me to feel any immersion. And some of the decisions that they made at the beginning, at some point along the way, they had to decide that they were only going to have 4 romanceable companions, and that all of those companions were going to come from Constellation. Right? And, I really miss Skyrim and Fallout's multiple companion system. Like, Fallout 3 didn't have any romanceable companions, but it had a variety of companions, so depending on how you wanted to play and what your alignment was, you could have different companions. I think there was 2 or 3 companions for each alignment. So if you were playing a ruthless evil character, you could have a ruthless companion. And if you were playing neutral, you could have a neutral companion. And if you were playing good, you'd have, a good companion. And there were multiple ones to choose from. And then in Fallout 4, of course, you had multiple romance options and various companions, but I just feel like they made a decision to not put much effort into that aspect of the game, of making characters who were engaging and friendly. I mean, they didn't necessarily have to have romance options, though I would prefer it. But, I mean, even in Skyrim, you had 35... something 40 or something romance options, right?
Welcome to Chunks.
You had a lot of romance options in Skyrim, and they weren't super fleshed out and super deep, but they were there, and there was a lot of contextual storytelling. So, even though the various romance options weren't necessarily very different when the rubber hit the road, they'd all bake you dinner, they'd all give you 100 gold pieces a day, they'd all say the same basic dialogue options, but depending on what they looked like and where you found them in the world, you know, they had their own stories to tell. But here they just have the 4. And there's a few followers, like that's why I like Ezekiel. Because he's a generic-ish follower, right? There's several people you can get that will follow you around, and they have names, and they have a little bit of backstory. You know? I mean, I can't technically romance him within the game, and that's fine. I mean, I'm glad he exists as a companion. But I do think that having good companions and good characters, whether romanceable or not, you know, they don't, like I said, they don't have to be, but just having good characters that you care about makes a big difference, at least for me, when I'm playing a game. Because video games have a lot of the same mechanics, right? There's shooting, there's looting, there's conversations, quests, there's basic stuff in every, you know, type of game that's like this. But what makes or breaks them, makes them interesting, makes them engaging, is like, you know, how much you care about the characters, how interesting the quests are, you know, something unusual about the world that catches you and, you know, grabs you and turns you on, you know? And there's just not a lot of that in this game.
How you liking that laser gun?
It's very by the numbers, and I'm sorry, did he just say pew pew to me? Okay, that was funny. Like, it doesn't take a lot of chances, it doesn't break a lot of new ground as far as like the storytelling and the visual look of the world and the characters and you know. But anyway, okay, let's get on with getting on.
You got any spare creds? I can always take them off your hands. Hey, Chief, you got any creds you can spare?
Maybe?
Thank you
Yeah,
kindly.
here you go.
You're a class bass, you know that? I'll do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment.
Okay, well then maybe you can tell me if you found any slates.
Oh, I totally did. Found it in the dumpster right next to a half-eaten chunk. And it was perfect timing, really. You see, the other day, the wind got a nasty cough and blew away all of my business spreadsheets. That won't happen with this slate. It's like wind resistant.
Okay, I can find your old spreadsheets in exchange for the slate. Keep the slate, just make sure you wipe all the data off of it. You keep spreadsheets. I'll find the spreadsheets.
That would mean I don't have to start over. All right, deal. I lost them near the employee break area. Look for any papers near the ground, the tables, maybe even the roof. You find all 3 spreadsheets, and I'll give you the slate.
Oh, 3 spreadsheets. Okay. Near the break area. Alright. This is a weird quest, but okay. Oh, I bet it smells great down here. Oh, and it's going to tell me exactly where they are. Well, that's no fun. I mean, it's not a fun Easter egg hunt if you're not, you know, if you already know where all the Easter eggs are hidden. Oh, it's up here on top. How am I gonna get up there? Are you kidding me? How am I gonna get up here? Can I move this? No. Can I get up on top of here? How in the heck am I supposed to get up there? I'm trying to figure out how to get up on top of this building.
Get lost. I have a job to do.
So I can get up there to get that. God damn, how am I supposed to get up here? It's angled so that you can't climb up the sides, fuckers. Ah. Ah. God damn it. No, get up there. Oh, come on. Oh. Gosh darn it. Ah, so close. I think this is the way in. This is the way we gotta do it. I just gotta do it right. Hey, Claus! Yeah, yeah. Looks like I have a wooden backpack. I know, or boost pack, right? Beyond Belief saying more boost pack skills or try amp. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try amp. Claus says that things you like and do not like can be different from things other people like or not, and the game is made for many people. The makers want to sell it to many people. Right, but they had that same objective when they made Skyrim or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 or, you know, any game that they make. And they've made better games. This one, obviously, they missed the mark for a lot of people because, you know, even though they had 13 million people playing it, if the average playtime was 40 hours, that means 6.5 million people played it 40 hours or less. That's not a lot. I mean, I've played it for like probably over 120 hours or something. 40 hours ain't much. I'm only level 30. So, you know, and there's a lot of people who just downright don't like it. And I remember when Skyrim came out, there were people who complained about parts of it. People who said, oh, I don't like the main storyline, or, oh, I don't like, you know, the combat is pretty weak, or whatever. You know, you can have criticism of a game, and it can come down to personal preference, right? But overall, Skyrim did very well, right? It's a cultural touchstone. A lot of people have played it. A lot of people, you know, found something in it to like. There was a lot, you know, like I didn't really like the shouts. I never used the shouts, right? Other people did. I mean, there was so much stuff in the game that there was something for everyone, and everybody seemed to find things they enjoyed about it. But Skyrim was on another level. Like, it had a level of detail and heart and something about the world that enchanted people and really drew them in and made them want to write tons of fan fiction or make tons of mods or, you know, whatever it was. So, you know, they found something in that, you know, they made Skyrim. I mean, they made Fallout 4. That game's been very, very popular and meaningful to a lot of people. So I don't think my criticisms, yes, you're correct that a lot of my own personal problems with Starfield are definitely based on my personal preferences. I 100% do not disagree with that at all. You know, but I just think overall the whole game as a whole doesn't seem to be received the same way that Fallout 4 or Skyrim or other games have been received, right? There's just some people like it, yes, but there's something missing. There's something they definitely fell down in a lot of areas, and you know, yeah, I can objectively say that some of the writing is bad because I'm a professional writer and editor. So yeah, I know. I mean, it's bad. There's some stuff that's just better than others. You know, there's a lot of bugs, but that's true of a lot of Bethesda games, right? But it's just, you know, there are elements to storytelling, and whether that storytelling is written narrative or environmental narrative or whatever, there's certain things you can do to make a game more engaging, more intriguing. There's internal consistencies and inconsistencies, all of those things. Those aren't things that are on a personal preference level. Those are things that are absolutely on a objective level. If you know anything about narrative or game design or whatever. But yeah, a lot of the little things I complain about are definitely things that are just personal to me. But there's so many of them. Like if they're trying to give everybody something to latch onto in this game, they failed. Because I'm not latching on to anything, and there's a lot of people who aren't latching on to anything. So, I mean, you can want to have variety, and you can want to have lots of different types of quest lines to offer, and lots of different types of companions to offer, and lots of different types of weapons to offer, and lots of different, you know, factions or whatever. I mean, they've certainly done that in their previous games. I don't think they've done enough in this game along those lines. And I think a lot of what they have done is just kind of like watered down, regurgitated versions of what they've already done. So, yeah, no, I don't think they were necessarily trying to just, you know, aim for something that would have broad appeal, and that's why it failed. I think it just, like I said, it just feels like in a lot of ways they phoned it in. And maybe that's because of COVID. Maybe that's because they were being bought by Microsoft, and so they were rushed. Maybe it's because a lot of people left, because that is also a thing. I think like half of the level designers and writers who worked on Skyrim and Fallout left, either before or during Starfield development. Because I went and looked through the credits of Starfield and Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and looked at the names of all the people that worked, you know, as writers or quest, you know, level designers or quest developers or whatever. And a lot of those people left Bethesda when Microsoft, around or before the time Microsoft bought them. So, you know, people like Nate Perkypile, who was one of the people that created the really cool DLC for Fallout 3, the Point Lookout stuff, right? And people who had worked on the cool, you know, Zeta starship space one for Fallout 3, and people who had worked on Fallout 4, and people who'd worked on Skyrim and done level design and environmental design and all that kind of stuff for Skyrim, those people were gone. Those people did not work on Starfield. So I definitely think that Starfield suffered because of that. I think whoever they had coming in and doing it, some of it's good, some of it's not. Maybe some of the veterans, I don't know who worked on what in Starfield. Maybe some of the veterans who had done stuff on Skyrim and Fallout are the ones that are responsible for the good stuff that I'm finding in Starfield. Maybe not, I don't know. But I do know that a lot of people who worked on the previous games and made good content for those games were not working on this one. So, anyway, okay, let's see. I know, I could try AMP. Let's try AMP, I guess. I think I've got some in here, I may not. Let's look for aid. AMP, I have AMP. Oh yeah, increases jump height, okay. Alright, let's do this. Hey! Oh, wow, thank you! AMP! Beyond belief! Woo! For the win! Yeah, Ansgar was saying they made some strange decisions with Fallout 76, ESO, and Starfield. Well, ESO's not even a Bethesda Game Studios game, though. That's the thing. ESO, they handed that off to ZeniMax. So, yeah, I don't even consider ESO a Bethesda game, quote-unquote Bethesda. I mean, I know it's published by or whatever it is, but, like, it's not the same developers. I think there's a few that have crossover with ESO, but, yeah, I think that's a whole other thing. But, yeah, Fallout 76 was definitely still a Bethesda Game Studios game, BGS game. And that is kind of weird. Like, why did they decide to make that themselves instead of handing it off to ZeniMax? Because, I mean, apparently ZeniMax has done a great job with ESO because lots of people play it. It's had a ton of content. It's still going strong. Fallout 76 has gotten better. I know people who play it, and there's a lot of people I know that say, oh, it's gotten better, there's more content, it's more fun. But I think it's just the MMOs are a kind of game that, like, certain people like to play. I don't like MMOs, whether it's Fallout or Skyrim or anything else, but Starfield is supposed to be another game that's like, you know, I mean, they themselves have said that it's Skyrim in space, and, you know, they're trying to aim for this thing that's similar. I mean, clearly from what they've done here, they're you know, the systems, the quests, some of the factions, a lot of the content just feels like kind of regurgitated, reskinned from Skyrim and Fallout. So clearly they were trying to do another game like those, and they were hoping it would be just as successful. But yeah, I think their decision to do this NASA punk thing and to not have kind of a cohesive vision for the game, is it science fiction? Is it fantasy? Is it supernatural? I mean, they've got all these like little bits and pieces of elements, and it just, I don't know. I just don't think it's got a cohesive, defining feel or look to it. And it's just a whole bunch of pieces. It's a whole bunch of pieces mashed together, and some of them work, some of them don't. But that's just me. I still is asking, so with Skyrim and Fallout 4, regardless of the actual storyline, I could tell my own story through a game. Does Starfield have the same option? I think it kind of does. I mean, I've basically just blown off the main quest line entirely and told Constellation to fuck off. And I'm considering myself a space rogue person who's just wandering around, kind of like Firefly, right? I mean, that was my thing, is I wanted to just be Malcolm Reynolds and have a ship, fly around, do jobs, get paid, maybe do some good works here and there, you know. And yeah, more or less, I can kind of do that. It's got different factions, it's got different quest lines, and sometimes they're kind of written as if they assume you've bought in. Like the Ryujin quest line, where I'm this corporate operative, it has a lot of dialogue options that are like, I'll do anything for the company, or, you know, I'm a team player kind of stuff. And not really any, there's a few options to say, yeah, no, I don't like this, or yeah, no, I'm not going to do this. But basically it just kind of assumes that if you're here to do the quest, you're role-playing that or something. I don't know. It's such a tough balance. It really is. I mean, I get how tough this is, because in Skyrim, everything is so kind of like the dialogue itself is so kind of vague and neutral and not deep, right? It's very shallow, so you can infer your own feelings about things. Like, you either do something or you don't. You save somebody or you kill them. You say yes or you say no. There's not a lot of depth to Skyrim's dialogue. The depth is in the environmental storytelling and in the role playing that people bring to it, right? I totally get that. Whereas like Outer Worlds, or a game like, you know, the big hotness right now, the Baldur's Gate 3, there's so many different lines of dialogue and different ways that you can play things out, and the game itself, in the narrative, in the dialogue of the story, in the factions, does give you alternatives, right? It's much more layered and nuanced, and it's more in the lines of the dialogue, not in the environmental storytelling, not in the role playing that the player brings to the game, but like the game itself. You can be good or bad. You can side with this person or not, you know, or the other side. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Usually every quest line in the Outer Worlds had like 3 ways to do it, right? The nice way, the evil way, or some kind of neutral middle ground or something. Or there'd be 2 different factions, and maybe they were both kind of shitty or kind of good, but you could do one or the other, or some kind of compromise, right? But like, I think Starfield feels like they were kind of trying to do more of like, because they keep bragging about how they have more dialogue and there's more choices, and I think they were trying to not do the environmental storytelling or rely on the player's role playing. I think they seem like they were trying to do more dialogue based stuff, right? More dialogue based storytelling in the game, hard coded options for what you choose to do and who you are and what, you know, why you're there. But it also sometimes feels like they churned out a lot of dialogue just to churn out a lot of dialogue. And there's a lot of times where I'm in a conversation and the options, there's hardly any difference between the different options of dialogue. And I'm like, why does this even exist? It just exists to say we have thousands of lines of dialogue, but like most of them aren't significantly different from each other, and some of them are just downright stupid. Like, I could just literally walk up to somebody and they'll say, hey, I need to do this because I'm just making something up. But, you know, like, oh, my cat is lost. I got to find my cat. And then the dialogue option is like, you know, what are you doing here? Well, didn't they just tell you they were trying to find their cat? You know, like, and if you say that, like, what am I doing here? Or what are you doing here? They'll say, well, I just told you I'm trying to find my cat. Like, why does that line even need to be there? It doesn't need to be there. You know, it's just, there's a lot of stuff like that in this game where it's like they're trying to make more dialogue, but they're not necessarily making more interesting dialogue or more, you know, more dialogue with a point. So, but that was kind of the complaint with Fallout 4 too, right? Was like, oh, they have this little dialogue wheel of 4 different options, but a lot of them don't really matter, right? Yeah, I think Bethesda's just, don't get me started. You're gonna get me started. I watched a YouTube video of a presentation from a game development conference, I think it was, and this person was talking about how you can create the illusion of choice in a video game, how you can create the illusion of role playing in a game, but that you don't actually have to make the effort of having multiple branching plot lines or lots of complicated differences. And I watched that, and it's like, now I can't unsee it. That the techniques that she was talking about are what they use in these games to make it feel like you have lots of choices or you've got lots of dialogue, but you really don't. And it just irks me. It's like, don't waste my time with this bullshit that, you know. Anyway. So, yeah, I feel like they did a lot more of that in this game. So, I don't know. To answer your question, Stella, I'm trying to role play my own role play, and I think there's room for some role play. But also, you know, just expect to bump up against a whole lot of stuff that doesn't really let you role play what you want to say, or just assumes that you're making certain, you know, that you have certain thoughts and feelings and stuff. It's not very nuanced dialogue in a lot of cases. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. You blame them excluding PlayStation players. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know if they, because at the point where they were creating this game and making the initial design decisions and parsing out, you know, who was going to work on what and what this game was going to be, I think that was done before they were even bought by Microsoft, and they probably still thought they were going to be on PlayStation. So I don't know if I agree with that, or maybe you're just kidding. But I mean, like, serious. If you're being serious, I don't know if I would say that's what it is. But I mean, because ideally, I had assumed that if they were going to make it an Xbox exclusive, it's because they just wanted more PlayStation players to buy an Xbox, like I did. I'd never bought one before, but I bought one so I could play this game. And I think that's what they were hoping for. So I think they, you know, in their minds, still wanted to make a game that was going to make people want to play it, and was going to make people want to buy the merchandise, and was going to make people want to buy an Xbox, you know? So, I don't know. Hey, Mostef, I see your comment, and for some reason it was auto-modded. Let me see if I can get it approved. I don't know if I can get it approved. I'm trying to click on it, and it's not letting me approve it. But you said, hello, Mostef. Massive noob entering the chat. What is MMO? Massively multiplayer online game. It's those kind of games like World of Warcraft, or Elder Scrolls Online, or Fallout 76, or the new Skull and Bones game, or whatever. MMO. MMORPG is usually the whole phrase, but yeah. Massive multiplayer online game. I know it seems like everything is an MMO nowadays, but it didn't used to be.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days.
Got any creds to spare?
Virus through the settled system.
All right, I found your
Wow,
spreadsheets.
that's real class of you, Chief. A+ stuff. Now I can get my books sorted, executive style. As promised, your Slate. Tell your techie friend I didn't peek inside. And even if I did, I don't know what half of it says anyway.
Okay, thanks. Napkin spreadsheet. She was writing on the napkins.
Hey, Chief.
Have you been panhandling for long?
About 6 years. I bet you could tell by how good I am at it. It took a lot of practice and some work on my messaging. But if you got any feedback, Chief, I'd love to hear it.
You don't need any tips from me.
I don't know. You can learn something from just about anyone. But I did put you on the spot, so no biggie.
How does one get good at panhandling?
You want to know the trade secrets, huh? I don't blame you. It's a lot like real estate. Location and timing are big. You gotta be visible, but not so much that people call the guards.
Do you have a place to stay?
Presently, no. Pastly, no. Futurely, It's a work in progress. Depends on how this fiscal quarter goes. But it's gonna take a lot for me to upgrade. I found a primo spot next to the trawl store. I got a roof over my head and all the garbage I can eat. I can't eat everything they throw out, but I can eat enough.
Oh, baby girl.
Wow. You really did me a solid, Chief. I've got no words.
Can I move her? Can I move her to one of my settlements? I don't have a settlement yet, but I'll build one for you.
Oh, it's all right. Once per day is enough. I don't want you to go poor.
Oh, I won't.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Great. Let's go back and take this guy's slate. Oh, there's my ship. And my ship's right out there. Oh, Ixyll is just teasing. Okay. Ah. Alright, so where do we go?
Can you believe Xenofresh charges us? Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space.
Ah! They're talking about me.
Something like 50,000 credits. Can you believe that?
They're talking about somebody stealing the Earth Savior Award. That was me.
It's literally called the Narcissus.
Make it quick. I have a deadline. What is it?
I got your
Well
slate.
done. It seems assigning you to this task was time well spent. And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an operative to debrief.
Okay. Thanks for the XP and the credits. Now, we're back to finding the distress call in the Charybdis system an hour and 20 minutes or so into this live stream.
With Tomo. That guy will never learn.
Okay, thanks. I've been trying to get to the Charybdis system. Beyond Belief says, I personally had no desire to play Skyrim or any of the Fallout series. And why is that? Just curious. Is it like you're just not into fantasy or post-apocalyptic? I'm still not really into post-apocalyptic, and honestly, it took my daughter a long time to convince me to play Fallout. She played Fallout New Vegas and she really liked it, and then she played Fallout 3 and she really liked that. Or, well, I don't know, maybe she played 3 first and then New Vegas, but whatever. She kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me to play them. And I was playing, I was playing Red Dead Redemption. Because I like Westerns. So I was playing Red Dead Redemption. And I had played Infamous, and I had played Bioshock, and I had played Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'd even played Skyrim yet. And I had some friends who were playing Skyrim, and I started playing it, and I didn't like it at first because I didn't get it. I'd never played a game like that. I mean, Red Dead Redemption is a big open world, you know, single player kind of game and stuff, but
Captain.
I think I had to finish Red Dead Redemption, and then I played Skyrim, and I eventually, you know, figured out what was going on in Skyrim, and then I liked it. But I had to wrap my head around it or whatever. But yeah, but I was playing Skyrim, and she still kept bugging me. I was like, look, I don't like post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, I just don't. I wasn't interested. And then eventually she was like, look, just try Fallout New Vegas. Just try that one. So I tried that one, and I did really like it. Because it was exactly like Skyrim, but I had played Skyrim. Oh, and I started playing Oblivion, too. And then I played Fallout New Vegas. I really liked that. And then Fallout 4 came out, and I played that one. And Skyrim Special Edition came out, and so I replayed Skyrim for like the 4th time. I did that for my channel. I was doing a channel by then. That's kind of how my channel started, was me playing Skyrim every day, playing the Special Edition on PS4. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because I really didn't think I would like the post-apocalyptic thing, and I only started liking it after I played Skyrim and then played, because New Vegas was really just Skyrim a lot in a lot of ways. That's kind of like, that's how I got into it. Well, that, and I used to live in the Mojave Desert, so it was interesting to see the environment that I had lived in for so many years, and that was another thing that intrigued me about the game, was kind of like being back in that environment. I think if I had played Fallout 3 as my first Fallout game, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. I don't know, maybe. But they did play very similarly. I mean, the controls were very similar, the game systems were similar, the quests and things were, I mean, they were different in tone and you know, but the basic idea of, you know, go here, fight these people, go there, escort this person, you know, the basic stuff. And then I played The Outer Worlds. But yeah, my husband was super excited to play Starfield because he really, really wanted to play a space game. He likes outer space stuff. He likes outer space sci-fi. Alright, I'm still trying to figure out how to get to the Charybdis system. It's so far out here, and it's showing me... Alright, I'm gonna go to Arcturus and see if I can get there from here. Beyond Belief says, not my cup of tea. Never played Red Dead. Never played Red Dead. Never played Oblivion. Well, what in the world made you want to play Starfield then? Whoa. There's like a weird little net of rocks here. Do you see that? There's like a little... What in the world? It goes all the way in both directions. Is that a glitch? Or is it... Oh, there's like rings or something? What is going on there? Ooh. Oh, I've been here. The Freestar Mech Factory. Okay. What are these things? Yeah, they look like mines. Sort of? Yeah. What in the world? Why is there a network of mines around this place? Maybe because the mech factory was here, so they mined it up? I don't remember seeing this last time I was here. That's weird. But okay. We're just trying to hop to Charybdis from here. And we can't. Alright, let's go to Ixyll. They look like space mines. Yeah, they do, don't they, Claus? Estella says Red Dead was fantastic. I played the Red Dead Redemption, and I played the DLC, the Undead, Red Dead Undead, or whatever it was called, Undead Nightmare or something like that. That was like a whole second game. It was like a sequel. It was so, I mean, it was on the exact same map as Red Dead Redemption. It used the whole map, and they basically just turned everything into a zombie apocalypse. But it had a ton of quests and stuff, and a ton of content. It literally was like a whole second game. I played both of those because I like westerns. But I never played the sequel that came out. The Red Dead one that came out a few years ago. Beyond Belief is a big space nerd. Yeah, my husband is too. He plays all the space games. He's got all kinds of ones that he's tried. I don't even know what all he's tried. I've lost track. He plays on his PC though, so. Oh, wrong way. But I like a lot of things. I mean, I like westerns. I like fantasy. I like sci-fi. I mean, I'm a huge Star Trek Babylon 5 fan, and I am a published science fiction author. That's something I don't usually bring up, but but yeah, I do like space stories, but I like all stories. Like I said. Fantasy, steampunk. I'm not a big fan of post-apocalyptic, but I do like the Fallout games because to me they're just, I mean, they are post-apocalyptic, but they're also very sci-fi. There's a lot of, you know, aliens and lasers and technology and robots and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, they're basically sci-fi. They're just not in space. They're not post-apocalyptic like some stories are post-apocalyptic. Like, they're not Hunger Games or something like that, you know. It's they're basically kind of sci-fi westerny sort of, but not like specifically westerny. They're westerny like because it's the similarities to westerns, right? You have the sparsely populated Wild West type environment where people are working really hard to survive, and you have a certain kinds of stories that come out of that situation. And so Fallout is similar because it's a wasteland and people are struggling to survive and it's sparsely populated, and you have certain types of stories that come out of that situation. So to that extent, it feels almost like a Western, but it's not a Western. That's probably one of the reasons I like it. And because it's sci-fi. So, not so much, I mean, when you think of post-apocalyptic, you think of people who are dealing with an ongoing apocalypse. Like, there's a, you know, like Hunger Games, you know, there's this totalitarian government regime, or you've got, you know, zombies, like in Last of Us or something like that, or you've got, you know, a pandemic, or, you know, something, right? Like, but in Fallout, you don't really have anything. There's not an ongoing apocalypse still happening. It's more like the apocalypse kind of reset everything, and now they're back to the Old West, but with lingering pieces of technology. So, which is kind of similar in a way in tone to Firefly, which I also love. That kind of mixture of, like, there's the settled advanced worlds, kind of like the UC here in Starfield, and then there's your, you know, your other faction. The Free Star Republic is very similar to the Independents in Firefly, right? So, you know, I should like Starfield. I mean, I don't hate it, but I wish I liked it more than I do. I don't know. That's just me. Okay, let's go out here. I guess I'm already here. Am I in Ixyll now? Yeah, that's where I am. Okay, so now let's see what it takes to get to Charybdis from here. See, it's making me go all the way over there, and I don't know what the hell is over there that they're going to. I can't see it, and that's what pisses me off. God, I wish I could rotate this. See, it's showing some planet over there. Okay, that one. What is that one? Is it this one here? And it's saying I can't make the jump. I probably can't do it from Bara either. I really wish this made more sense to me. This whole figuring out where to jump and how to get there bullshit. The star map is kind of crap. Like, I get the concept of it. This is supposed to be 3D space. Rendered on a 2D screen. But I just wish that I could rotate and keep it rotated so I could see things from different angles. It keeps going back to there. Like, I try to move it and I can't see things in 3D space. It just bothers me. Okay, yeah, see, it still wants me to go via Ixyll, which makes no fucking sense. Because I can't see it in 3D space. Alright. Alright, let's go to the Ilios retreat and see if I can swap ships here.
Let's get out there and see what we can find.
Alright, hang on, Zeke. Alright, I think they have a ship's services person. So let me get my ship that can jump long distances.
Oh, hi. We're not exactly open, but did you need something for your ship?
Yeah. Yeah, can I talk? Hello?
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. Okay, no problem.
Alright. So, Frodo can jump 26 light years. That should be able to do it. But I just don't like jumping around space that I'm not familiar with, using a ship that's not very high powered as far as shields and weapons and whatnot. But that's the trade-off. Like, to get it to jump that far, I think I've got to have reduced mass. And if you start adding on a lot of stuff, well, I don't know. Maybe, let's see what we can do. I think I'd already looked at this before. Yeah, alright. Let's make this my home ship. And let's see if we can make this gravity jump. Or grav drive space jump. Beyond Belief has the Ilios ship tech on my ship. How did you manage that? Is he somebody you can hire? Or is it a glitch? Is this where we're trying to go? Well, let's try. Alright, now we can jump to Charybdis. Level 65. Great. I've heard of people going here and doing this quest when they're lower level than I am now, but we'll see how it goes.
Repeating emergency request. Facility Crucible requires vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Charybdis 3. End of message.
Operation Starseed. Okay. The Crucible needs some help. Alright, here we go.
Great spot for a landing, Captain.
Oh, it is pretty here. It's real pretty here. Ooh, there's a cave in the distance. Interesting. Alright, let's go see what this place is. Hello?
Human of
Tobias.
unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart.
Well, if it's a secret location, why are you sending out a distress call? You're the one that sent the transmission, pal.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed Acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver
That was
150
easy.
units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived.
Okay. Charybdis is really out of the way. You must not see many people.
We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him.
Okay. Why are people hiding? What do you mean by societies? I assume it's some weird thing because they've put themselves way out here in the middle of nowhere. But okay.
Most of us are like me, free and unaligned. But there are 3 societies that are oft at odds with one another. The Believers, the Pragmatists, and the Renegades. It would be wise to meet each of them. Franklin leads the Pragmatists.
Why are people hiding?
Crucible is a tinderbox, and any spark will set it off. We're still recovering from a deadly conflict that happened 3 years ago. Far fewer of us are here to greet you today because of it.
Dang. Oh, I guess I'll look for Franklin
Give it
then.
time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
Okay. You're not gonna escort me to Franklin? You're just gonna let me wander around willy-nilly? Do whatever I want? Or maybe she is escorting me. Hello? Franklin.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community. But you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends.
Okay, that's a weird old-time outfit and your accent is odd. You don't control the robots. You don't seek to use me. I'll be careful then. Why would I think his suit was odd? I mean, I've seen people wearing suits like this, haven't I? And the accent? I mean, there's so many weird accents. Why would this one seem any odder than the rest? I'm not going to say that. I'll say you don't control the robots?
No, we most certainly do not. Our relationship with them is a matter of some debate.
Okay, I guess I'll be careful
well,
then.
you should. I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader
What?
of the Pragmatist Society.
Okay, I've heard that name before.
It is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgotten. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense.
Is he a clone?
Everyone that lives here are clones.
Clones, yeah.
Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
Oh, right, finally! Finally, some interesting science fiction stuff going on in this sci-fi game. Alright, so we got some people living here in a weird remote settlement. They're clones, or they think they're clones, of people from old Earth history. Alright. I've encountered stranger things. I don't know. Not in this game. I want to know who you people are and what's going on. Are you a real president of the old United States? Are you immortal then?
Not at all.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask that.
Have had occasion to see death more than anyone. When someone dies, all they have accomplished here in Crucible, all of their deeds, thoughts, are gone. And
okay.
when they come back, they are different, modified. The believers say they are improved. Being reborn can take years, sometimes over a decade. But everyone comes back.
Interesting. Okay. So who are you people and what is going on?
You could see how confusing this may be, even frustrating. But if it's any consolation, many of us feel the same, and we live here. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatist's position on matters.
This is like a vault experiment. Something out of Fallout. I can't wait to see who I get to meet next. I'll hold you to that promise. I don't want to be passed off to the others. What can you tell me about the mission?
Well, it is one of the few concrete things we know about Crucible. If you want to truly know about the mission, the believers will tell you all about it. In fact, it can be hard to get them to stop talking about it. After you meet with them, I'll share my position.
Okay, I get it. You're not going to tell me anything until I go talk to everyone else. Great.
Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance.
We
Go
could explain
speak with
things to me.
Amanirenas and Genghis Khan.
Okay. Sure. Who's this?
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us.
Pragmatist.
You can hear the howls at night. The defenses have to hold.
Oh, dang. Alright, so you got some nasty wildlife here, huh? Funny how everything looks exactly the same as it looks everywhere else in the galaxy, even though you guys have been cut off for hundreds of years. Alright. I'll go talk to the other folks. Got a lot of coffee here, too. Where are you guys getting your coffee from? I guess people have a supply run of some kind. Alright, so who have we got? We've got somebody over there. Amanirenas, or whatever. I can't remember how you pronounce her name. And somebody over there, Genghis Khan. Alright, looks like he's outside the walls. So I'll go talk to her first. Hello?
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirenas of the Kush.
Well,
Queen of a
clone
dead
of her.
kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me.
You know you're not really a queen.
You walk our land a few footsteps and think you know everything. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am Amanirenas for true. The great and the terrible to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. the right scent, and I close my eyes, and I can picture all of it so vividly. It aches my heart, my home, my kingdom.
Okay, maybe you are her reincarnation. I'll withhold my judgment. You sound delusional. How can you be so certain? I'll say maybe you're her reincarnation.
If your mind and heart remain open, you will see the truth of it. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible, I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems, to bring in a new, glorious age, and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed.
And you want me to help with this? The mission is doomed. Could you tell me about the mission? Yeah, what's the mission?
So many scoff at the mission. Before we are reborn here, there are words all of us are told. That we are the chosen. We are meant to better ourselves. To learn, grow, and thrive. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. Who better to lead the settled systems to a new golden age?
Wow. This is weird. So they think these great leaders from the past think that they're here to what? Like they've been kept in existence since everybody left Earth, so that they could eventually fix things across the galaxy? How do they even know about the rest of the galaxy? I mean, I guess they're instructed, but oh, this is weird. I don't know. It's creepy. It's creeping me out. You really think you can change everything?
Skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Kush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that?
Okay, and you want me to help with this?
If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if
Not
you
such a
think
great
my
leader
plan
then,
is
are you?
insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years. And no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright.
This is kind of almost giving me like Horizon Zero Dawn vibes a little bit. Okay, maybe none of you are ready. Yeah, I'll say that.
Someone, anyone by now would have learned the lessons the facility sought to teach. No, the machines have not aged well. The crises break upon our beach, each one greater than the last.
What's the facility?
The facility is another place on this very planet. A place we cannot go. As much as we dream of it.
Why? Is it forbidden? Okay, I'll hear you out, but no promises. Tell me what you need.
I need you to go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Okay. Are you one of the believers? Because you were supposed to explain to me about the mission and stuff. Can you tell me about the believers?
We are the ones who believe in the mission. We are the great minds and leaders of history who can bring about a new golden age. Our numbers are admittedly few, but we make up for it in our commitment to see the dream of Crucible realized. We just want the machines fixed, so we can pass the test and be allowed to leave Crucible and try to make a difference.
Okay. What do you know about the facility?
There are robots here, but they are not constructed here. The clones also are not born here. The robots bring fresh clones always from the east. That is where their facility lies. And that's it. I know no more.
Okay. What do you think of the other societies?
Roosevelt and the Pragmatists vex us. True, they do help us try and maintain the facility, but they deny the mission. Such hubris. We were sent here for a reason. Why can't they see that? And Genghis and the renegades are little more than brigands spoiling for a fight. They would destroy everything if it meant they could be unleashed on the galaxy. Clearly, none of them will ever reach their potential.
Maybe that is their potential. Okay, bye.
As you wish, outsider.
Non-resident detected. Valid exception acknowledged.
The Pragmatists are the only ones who see Crucible for what it really is.
Oh, okay. And what's Ada's deal? Ada Lovelace.
Ah! Too. Change is coming. I can't wait.
Are you a clone of a historical figure? Yes, she is.
Why, yes. Ada Lovelace, at your service.
Or at least that's what they're told. How do we know they're actual clones of the actual
people? And is widely considered the first female programmer. And to see what our little experiments led to, I only wish Mr. Babbage was here.
Well,
he is. How is it not being in a society here?
Uncomfortable, truth be told. The believers are undeniably favored by the facility. Their complex receives food and materials first. When blood is spilt, the facility robots often side with them. And always the arguments and fisticuffs. Most of us just want to live in peace.
Are you a scientist?
I suppose I am what passes for one here. I have my namesake's education, so I am well versed there. But without any books or treatises from other scientists, my knowledge is limited. Some
How come you don't have
received specialized knowledge, like Amelia? She knows how spacecraft works. So interviewing them has been fantastic for learning more advanced scientific principles. But mainly I conduct experiments, rudimentary as they are. It's always a pleasure.
I mean, I thought Ada Lovelace would not be wearing that anyway. Okay, what else is over here? Tipped over a microscope. Yeah. Same old junk that's on every planet. Okay. Oh, Claus says my bed is calling. Cannot ignore this because I like my bed.
I believe the mission.
Okay, good night, Claus.
Are you saying you cannot improve yourself?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Ada Lovelace.
I believe we once
lived in the 1800s. She lived during the Victorian era, but she doesn't have a Victorian outfit on.
Embrace your feelings. Think upon them.
Oh, Beyond Belief is saying I have... When you said you had the Ilios ship tech on your ship, it was because you used the brain implant from Ryujin to convince him to come on your ship? But it doesn't last, right? And I also have a real doctor I can buy supplies from. Is that necessary? I haven't felt the need to buy any supplies from any doctors yet, but...
Change is coming. I can feel it.
Maybe I just haven't gotten into the right kind of scuffles. Oh, that one's already scanned. Alright, I guess we'll go talk to Genghis Khan. Did we have Genghis Khan in Fallout 3? There was that one DLC, the spaceship one, where we were on an alien spaceship, and there were various people the aliens had been abducting from different time periods.
Weapons out! They come! There will be blood!
Oh.
You will all burn!
Alright, well, that took care of business. Wasn't Genghis Khan also in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
And the woman from the stars.
Convenient that they all speak English.
And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you.
You're much more civil than I was expecting. You're one of the most terrible butchers in all history. I can't believe it, you're really Genghis Khan. You're one of the most terrible butchers in history, I guess?
My namesake, yes. A terrible, terrible person. But me, I'm really just a lowly prisoner, stuck on this pitiful planet. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls.
Okay. Why are you really out here?
I would provide fresh meat for my society, so we don't get fat off the robots. Franklin and I see eye to eye on very little, but even he appreciates this. And I always hope to see some means of escape. Perhaps our luck has finally changed.
Okay, you handle yourself well out
The
here.
The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones. Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance.
I believe that.
Are just
I agree with him.
Same as you. Same as anyone.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Ansgar says in Fallout 3 it was a samurai. Right. But there was like a cowboy and a samurai and like a space marine guy. I can't remember who else was on there. But yeah. Thank you. I think sharing the same DNA as such noteworthy people counts for something. I think that science would back your view. I'm surprised you didn't change your name then. So you really feel no connection to Genghis at all? Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't change your name.
I never really thought about that. Surprising indeed. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day we will be free.
Then you should leave. If the renegades are so tough, you don't need me. So Crucible is a prison? What would you do if you escaped?
I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a
How do you know
man
about
who
the
does
settled
not shrink
systems?
from violence can't make a place for himself, though.
I mean, how do they know about it? I guess they've had other people coming in, but like to trade with them and stuff. So Crucible is a prison? Well, you should leave. I'll just say
Were
that.
it that easy? I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands.
You get reset,
but now, the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it.
Okay. If I free you, I have a feeling many people will suffer. Crucible really kills you?
Oh yes. You can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead.
Oh,
I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this.
Or maybe some kind of neural implant or something.
As long as their pens are clean and comfortable.
Just fries their brains if they go too far away. If I free you, I have a feeling many people might suffer.
Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming they got some kind of little implants in their brains that just go pop if they get too far away. And then the robots bake a new one. But why? Who set this up to begin with? And I assume that they come back to the facility because they were saying they bring them in. Sometimes it takes a while. So, like, does it take them a while to grow up or to age them? Who's teaching them? Do they not remember leaving the facility?
Stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course.
I can sleep on my ship, thanks. I thought Wyatt Earp was a sheriff.
He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that.
Okay, so you're a pragmatist?
I'm for whatever side wants to keep the peace. It means that the pragmatists and I are often on the same side of things. But you might be surprised the number of times I've had to ask some of them to back off some nonsense.
Okay, let me know if I can help. I'm a Freestar Ranger.
I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you.
Okay. Sure.
Hopefully you take fancy to something.
He doesn't have much. Alien broth, alien jerky, alien liquor, alien pie, alien sandwich, alien stew, alien stir fry, alien tea, alien tonic, bourbon. He's got bourbon, creature jam, crispy alien nuggets, water, fiber, nutrient, pigment, a plum, and some sedative. Okay, I'm good. I don't think I have anything to sell to him. Is there a lot of crime in Crucible?
It runs hot and cold. During usual times, it's an occasional scuffle. Maybe a black eye when an argument gets out of hand. And then a society goes on a rampage and it's tombstone all over. I hope your arrival keeps things on an even keel.
Okay,
You're always
bye.
welcome back.
Oh, and this looks like Amelia
I need
here.
to go out there. I want to see it do everything there is to be done. Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there?
I spend most of my time keeping the ship fueled. Do I? I don't think I've ever had to think about the fuel. Space is very big and mostly empty. I'm more interested in you, actually. No matter how much I see, it never gets old. I guess I'll say that.
That's just how I imagine it. My name's Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments.
Oh,
I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration, vectors, and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit.
So they're kind of like synths in Fallout 4, and they get this brain programming somehow. She wakes up having the knowledge of her counterpart, her historic counterpart, and then some, because, you know, the real Amelia Earhart never flew a starship. But then she also still considers herself, I mean, she doesn't say, I wake up with this knowledge. It's like, I wake up with Amelia's knowledge, but I am Amelia. It's weird. The disassociative thing is kind of strange. I don't know what to make of you or anyone else. I have a feeling this is going somewhere. Why do you know about spaceflight?
The facility keeps us alive, fed, and protected. But they do a terrible job of informing us of anything at all. My guess is the facility thought they might need a pilot one day. But your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, I have a feeling this is going somewhere.
Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore.
Okay. If I can help you, I will.
You won't regret it. Thanks.
I mean, I assume that
talk about anything else?
Do you think you're the real Amelia Earhart?
No, I don't. I consider myself a most ardent admirer of hers. She feels like family. Distant family. I like to think we both share a kindred spirit of adventure, though. She broke so many barriers in her life. I would love the same opportunity one day.
Do you have any thoughts on the societies?
I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them. But I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. Thanks for your time.
I assume if I just stick her on my ship and try to fly out of here that her brain will go pop too, like the other guy said. They can't get too far from the facility or they die.
So,
all right, Franklin.
You have heard from the other societies.
Yep.
I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Genghis is right. This is a cage and your people need freedom. I think some of the greatness of your original selves may live in you. Think of what you could accomplish. Both of them are misguided and probably dangerous. I'm going to say I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I don't think I have all the information yet.
Very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose and Bara as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves.
Which is probably why you haven't been released yet. Tell me your plan then.
Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet.
Okay, count me in. I'll think about it. I can't let all of your people remain trapped here. You can't raise families because you're clones. Does that mean you're infertile? Is it wrong if others want to? Yeah, I'll ask about the families.
Yes. And not to be indelicate, not for lack of try. Are we even human in this state? We have no future, only the past.
Okay, is it wrong if others want to escape this prison?
Do not listen to passion. Genghis can be very persuasive, but he's a fool. In some sense, we are an abomination. A science project made for unknown ends and with uncertain results.
I'm glad you acknowledge that.
Human, fully self-reliant, then we should be allowed to join the settled systems.
Okay, I'll think about it.
I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument.
Go to the facility and see what can be done.
Oh gosh, yeah. I definitely want to check out this facility.
Over here. Hey, we need to talk.
Okay.
Listen, it's not safe to talk here. It's about Roosevelt. There's something you need to know.
Okay. I'm all ears.
You. There's a, well, cave just outside town. No chance of us being listened in on. Please, come as quick as you can. Ideally, before you go to the facility.
Okay. Whatever it is, I can protect you. If it's that important, I'll go now.
I'll meet you at the cave.
All right. Meet Wyatt Earp at the cave.
Is that all you have to say?
We need to learn how to do things for ourselves. How to defend, how to produce power, how to fix the plumbing, for God's sake.
You guys don't know how to fix plumbing, but you know how to fly starships? That's just... seems a little weird. Okay.
The other societies make me sick. This
What's in here? Anything? Just living quarters, I guess. Alright. And they've got these vending machines for some reason.
The mission will succeed one day.
They must have some contact with the outside world. So they know they live in the settled systems. And they know some things, they just don't know others. It's weird. Okay. Meet Wyatt Earp at the cave. Secret lives. I guess the cave isn't too far away, otherwise he would die. Right? Yeah! Ansgar is saying this mission is almost like an old Star Trek episode. Yeah. I think you're right about that. Alright, so how do I get into this cave? Oh, I thought he meant that cave way out there, but no. How do I get into this cave? Oh, is this it here? What's up, Wyatt?
You came. I just can't take a chance. These
Okay.
clones, they're psychotic, crazy. If they find out, I'm sorry. I just can't take the chance.
The chance of what? Tell me what this is about.
You're just too smart. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I wish. God, how I wish I was. I was cloned off a monster. America's first serial killer. H.H. Holmes.
Oh, jeez. Who's H.H. Holmes?
He was a deranged lunatic on old Earth. In the 1890s, he owned a hotel. He'd lure people there in this crazy hotel with all sorts of terrible rooms.
Really?
But I'm not him. You gotta believe me.
Well, now I want to look up this guy and read more about him. Must be a terrible burden knowing you share the DNA with them.
Like a living nightmare. If you go to the facility, I know you'd find out who I am. And if you let any of these bloodthirsty maniacs know, they'd kill me. But no, that wouldn't be
They didn't kill Genghis Khan.
Every time my new clone would appear, death, torture, pure hell. I'm afraid it's you or me. I'm going to kill you.
No, you're not. Killing me would make you a murderer. Is that what you want?
I really, really don't. Besides Ada and maybe Amelia, you're the nicest person I've met. But the other clones, they would tear me apart. Don't you see? They're the monsters. I just don't want to be tortured like that. Please, please forgive me.
No, we don't have to do this.
I just don't see a way out.
You don't stand a chance. You're throwing your life away.
I don't want to die.
You can trust me. I won't tell anyone.
I want to believe you. I do.
Critical success.
I'm gonna trust you, okay? Just don't tell anyone. This never happened.
Well, how in the world did he convince everyone he's Wyatt Earp? I mean, wouldn't there be some people who would have remembered? I mean, has he been pretending to be Wyatt Earp since the very beginning? The robots? How does he even know about Wyatt Earp? Did the robots give him that memory? That's so many questions. Alright, so now what am I supposed to do? Go to the facility. Alright. This is gonna be interesting. I don't know, he kind of creeps me out though. Like, his first instinct is to tell me what's going on and then threaten to murder me. He's like, I am the clone of a murderer and I don't want anyone to know, so I'm gonna murder you. It's like, dude. Maybe I should have killed him. But he's in a weird, difficult, desperate position here, and so are they all, so I guess I'll have a little patience. Right, so where's this facility? Jesus, the other side of the planet. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. I really want to continue with this quest because this is really interesting. But it's 7 o'clock here and it's Valentine's Day and my family is probably waiting for me to come downstairs and have dinner. So I am going to go and do that.
Greetings.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope everyone is having a great Valentine's Day, or just a great day if you don't celebrate. If you don't have a Valentine, you can be my Valentine. This will probably go up on my channel several days after Valentine's Day, though, so anybody who's watching it over on YouTube probably going, why are you talking about Valentine's Day? But anyway, all right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being in the chat room. It's good to hear from everyone. I like being kept company while I'm on my adventures here. And I hope you come back for the next one. I am very excited to find out what the heck this is all about and what is going on at that facility. Let's find out next time. Take care of yourselves until then. Bye!